The right color for your brand can be the difference between being the go-to person in your industry or being completely invisible. In this video, I'll explain simply what colors mean and how to choose the best one for your brand. Hey everybody, I'm Rob Genovese from Unleash My Beast brand, where I teach you how to become a brander and build a brand. I want to thank you all in the subscriber community for being a part of what we're achieving here. And if you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. I got new ones coming out every Tuesday and Friday. I want to teach you how to choose the best color for your brand, but I want to keep it simple. You know, you could get lost for hours or days looking at color generator tools. You can be looking at color palettes and getting bogged down in color psychology and color theory. You can get lost in the world of shades and tints. It can be dizzying. I don't want you to get dizzy. I want you to be successful. So let's get right to it. Basic color meaning says this. If you look at red or blue or yellow or black or any of the basic colors, every one of them conveys an emotion. It has a meaning that when it hits the viewer's eye, it conveys something. It is communicating a message just by its virtue of color alone. For instance, red is the color of danger, alert. It could be the color of romance and love. It is basically a color that screams, "Look at me!" Green is the color of organic and natural and growth. Isn't that obvious? Blue is the color of trust and loyalty, which is probably why you see so many companies use the color blue. Black is the color of elegance, sophistication, classiness. And take a look at some of the other colors on this graphic that will show you exactly what some of the colors mean. Now you want to keep this simple, because if you're in business for yourself, if you're a solopreneur, you're a small business, or you simply want to just get your butt moving, choose a single color. Don't get crazy about it. Based on the graphic that I'm showing you, pick a color that conveys what your brand is all about. Now, that means that before you can do this, you actually have to have some words in mind that make your brand unique. That when people think about your company, what do you want them to think about? You see, those words will come first. So write down some descriptive words of what your brand is about. Once you have a couple of words that really exemplify what your brand means and what makes you unique, then go back to this color chart. Pick the color that closely aligns with those descriptors. And hey, if you're getting value out of this, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. Now, those colors are really basic. So what I'm showing you here now is a color wheel that will show you shades and tints of one of the colors you chose. See, as you move closer to the center of the wheel, you're choosing a tint of that color. As you move towards the outer part, you are choosing a shade of that color. You can see how it gets darker on the outside and lighter on the inside from the middle colors of the wheel. Choose one of those colors as your main color. That's the color you're going to stick with. Now in my case, I chose orange. Why did I do that? Orange is not my favorite color. Blue is. But my brand stood for something when I built it. It stood for movement and energy, excitement. So I chose orange to represent that brand. Now everywhere you look in my branding, all over my social media, when you go to my Instagram feed, when you watch my videos on YouTube, when you go to my website, you can see orange is everywhere. It's the dominant color. Now, I didn't invent the color orange, obviously, but I own it. And that's what you need to do too. You need to own the color you choose and use it everywhere, all the time, every way possible. Now choose two other colors that are a stark contrast to your primary color. In my case, I chose black and gray. That's how I get orange to really stand out. You can do the same. Now, like I said, you don't need to get bogged down in creating vast color palettes. But what you can do is you can take the tools that I'm showing you here, like coolers. Check out this one, coolers.co. Go to this site and you can actually just hit the space bar and it automatically generates color palettes for you. Then what you can do is when you find a color you like, you can hit the lock button. There's a little lock in the center there. And then you could just lock that in place, hit the spacebar again, and it will generate more colors that will go along with that. Now you can play with that, but don't get yourself crazy. Another site you can go to is electrobuild.org. This is a pretty cool site. You can upload a photo and then play with how colors will change the look of that photo. And so you can see how your color applied to photographs will convey your brand's message. If you're liking this content, go ahead, hit that like button, pop the comments and questions below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, these are just some fun things. You don't have to do it, but sometimes I like playing with these things to get an idea of how my brand is going to feel to people. But in the end, you're really just going to want to stick with the one color, use it everywhere, make it simple so you can keep moving forward. Now, why is a color choice so important? Well, take a look at this logo right here, IBM. You know, they used blue almost from the get-go. And in fact, they became known as Big Blue. Now, the color of their logo is blue, but apparently way back in the 60s and 70s, their mainframe computers were blue and they were big. So rumor has it, that's where they got the name Big Blue. Now look at these colors here. Even though I don't show the logo or the name, do you know what brand this is? It's obvious, right? That's how important color is and how it gets embedded in our brain, and it becomes a trigger when we see it. Now look at this storefront here. Just based on the color alone, you can almost guess what brand this is. Same thing with this store here. When you drive up to this, you know exactly what store this is. That's largely due to the color. And if you want to learn more about being a brander and building a brand, check out these videos.